Hello and welcome back to this channel. Today's gonna be a really fun video because today I'm gonna kind of show you guys the behind the scenes of kind of like how we water our plants. So pretty much, before I pretty much show you the system we use, we've used pretty much like 4 systems. So I'll be kind of talking about the history a little bit in this video too, and kind of like the things I just really recommend. And we're gonna be kind of talking about just what to look out for when you kind of overwater plants and like you overwatered them yesterday and today you're going to water them again, but they're still soaked. I'm going to kind of show you guys some key things to look out for before you water it even more. Just overwater that overwatered plant. So there's some other plants in here too that I'll be talking about like that are underwatered too, so I'll be talking about that also. And before I start, please subscribe, hit the bell notification bell so everyone likes this video. Let's go ahead and start this video. Alright, going straight in the bathroom where we usually get all our water. We have gone through so many systems of kind of watering stuff. We've gone from pretty much pitchers, constantly going back and forth from the faucet right here, just constantly using this water bottle where it's kind of just like a misting type of thing, just like sprinkler head type of thing. But to be honest, when you have this many plants, it gets very, very tiring to go back and forth with a water pitcher, just constantly doing stuff. So pretty much what I decided is I ended up going on Amazon, kind of going on YouTube and a ton of stuff and just kind of doing a lot of research. So I ended up deciding, why would I just go back and forth from pitchers when I could just buy like a weak pump type of thing, buy a ton of like hoses and stuff like that, have like a pump, something like that, and completely fill up the bathtub. So then we got, just to mention, before I do start, just go off this topic and stuff like that and just off of water, make sure your water is kind of room temperature. You don't want like ice water and you don't want hot water. Hot water, to be honest, it won't really hurt the plant, but you're gonna get more out of it quicker when you just use room temperature water. It could work differently for other people. I know other people have used cold water or hot water to kind of get more out of it, but just from my experiences and just me testing out a ton of different stuff, room temperature water works the best. So then we already have the pump in the water. Now we're gonna grab the hose. We're gonna go back over here, and then we're gonna kind of pull it a little bit, and then we're just gonna go ahead and hook it up to the pump, pretty much just like that. And then I'll see you guys once I actually get the power. Now I'd like to say, you're obviously working with just electricity and stuff like that, and you're working with water, probably the worst 2 combinations together, but just be careful. If you guys are hoping to have this type of system where you just kind of plug it into the wall and just let the pump go, just make sure you have, your parents are like, if you guys are doing it and your guys are adults, just be smart when you're doing it. Just kind of get the cord as far away as possible from the actual water. The way I've just kind of done it in the past is I did a huge amount of testing with this hose outside before I actually did, just to make sure there was no leaks in it. And even still, for pretty much, I think it was probably maybe about 10 waters, I had someone in this room just constantly watching the hose, making sure there was no water leaks. Now every so often, I'll just kind of check up on it, because if I hear something, usually I can tell something from a water change. So usually, I'm just going to plug it in, you can kind of hear it. There it is, pump is on, and now it's going to be a race of time to kind of figure out where the water kind of goes out. So it goes out right there, and then, to be honest, I kind of hate the way I kind of throw the cord on the ground, because it gets extremely tangled up. So you kind of like grab the hose and then kind of just like untangle it as the water gets close. So now we got the water. Accidentally turned off the camera right when I was talking, so I don't really know how that's gonna work out, but I'm just gonna kind of like let it go, and then boom, we got water all over, and then just letting it straight in the soil bucket. So now I'm gonna turn the camera around because this is a really weird vlogging way, and yeah, we'll go ahead and start the video. Okay, so while the water is running, just put your thumb over it. To be honest, I have no clue the wattage on that pump. To be honest, I made sure it was, I think it was about 10 watts, which is not a lot of power. Just make sure it is not like 100 watts where you can put your thumb over it and it completely stops the water. And you don't really have to kind of just like work with like the garden hose or something like that. Now, talking about like overwatered plants and underwatered stuff, these are a little bit underwatered. You can kind of see they're a little bit dry, like on the bottom stuff, and just it's a little bit wet on the top, but just not like it's soaked. I'll probably do a little bit of some water on that, but not a lot. Now, talking about overwatered plants, the basil was really watered yesterday, almost too overwatered. You can kind of look in there and kind of see like just it overwatered. You can kind of see there's like a lake of just brown like soil water. All of them have it, so definitely be skipping off on those and kind of just let the soil dry up and just let the plants grow more, because there still are a lot more seeds just starting to pop up, like those two and those stuff over there. It's just full of stuff still. The cilantro is pretty much good. Cilantro doesn't need a lot of water, to be honest. Lettuce needs a lot of water. To be honest, don't overdo lettuce, because the lettuce, once lettuce is overwatered, it's really hard to kind of get the water off or just out. So just be careful. Don't add a ton of water there. So pretty much what we're going to be doing with this is kind of just like have the water close to it. Just kind of give it enough water where it's just good enough for today. I'll do the same exact thing tomorrow too. And then we're just going to keep going back and forth with the water, just giving the roots just that daily water it needs to survive really well. Now, again, we do have a ton of electrical stuff in here too for powering the grow lights. So make sure you're actually getting the water in the pots and just not going all over. So that's definitely something that kind of made me decide on that. To be honest, I've had the idea of this for a long time. I had the idea like 3 months into the greenhouse grow room, and I just started it once we hit like 8 months. So it definitely took some deciding if I really needed this. But after I really just realized I'm not going to be doing the picture for that many times, especially the times when I was using the pictures, I did not have the greenhouse fully running as much as like how we have it now. So it's just a lot harder. And just a good thing about this is you can kind of control the water a lot more. When you're watering with the pitcher, it's just like a lot more unpredictable. You can overwater something on accident. You can bump the pitcher on like the shelf pull or something like that, and accidentally dump half of it on that one spot. It's just with this way you just have a lot more precision with trying to get like as much of it watered as possible. Again, with this plant does not need much water, so that's pretty much good. Did miss a little bit there, but I kind of redesigned. That's another thing. Once I got the system, I redesigned a lot of the electrical in here. So a lot of stuff is just a lot more waterproof than it used to be. So a lot of these like plugs are a lot more just waterproof. I forget what we put around it, but we just kind of helped it not get as much water on it and just not cause like a fire or something. So far, we've been using it for about 2 months and had no problems at all, which is really good. Usually, there'll be at least one problem. We've had a lot of problems in here before. So, it's just a really good thing we haven't had any problems with this yet. Now, we've had a lot of just content on this channel about just kind of everything, just watering stuff and pretty much everything. So, you can kind of just see every video you can see possible on the topic of gardening on this channel. So I'd love if you guys would check out those too. We also do a lot of just videos about just updates of the greenhouse. So there's a video of when we started this plant off, like literally from just soaking the seeds. That was a video on this plant too. We just constantly did topics about this, just this plant in particular. and just stuff like that. And today's video is almost over. If you guys like these types of videos, or if you guys learned anything new, I would love to hear what you learned new in the comments. And if you guys have any questions, I would love to hear your questions in the comments too. I would love to start a conversation with you guys. And I would love it if you guys would subscribe, possibly hit the bell notification on all, so everyone likes this video. This is gonna be the end of the video, so I really appreciate you guys spending your time today to support this channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when we post next. Peace.